Throughout my time playing Cyberpunk 2077, one of the locations which has always confused me and intrigued me at the same time is the MedCenter. This building is absolutely huge. Like, this place is massive. This entire complex is very much modelled. It's extremely difficult to miss, what with the trauma team colours, what with the mass amounts of branding slapped all over it. And the one thing I always remember about this place is this huge logo on the roof of the building. What makes this particularly interesting is that this entire building is never used in Cyberpunk 2077. Not for a mission, not for a gig, not in free roam. It quite literally sits here as either a gigantic piece of unused or unfulfilled content, or simply world building. But guys, quick one, and sorry in advance. A pretty large portion of you are still not subscribed, and again, that's absolutely your choice. You're allowed to not subscribe. However, if you do enjoy this content, then please do consider subscribing. That's all. Thank you, let's get into it. One of the biggest points of interest for the MedCenter is, of course, the NCART station, which is actually built into the building. And of course, like always, you're not actually able to go inside this place, but I'm sure we can because, you know, we bribed the metal detectors. But you can see that this is your kind of run-of-the-mill NCART interior. Nothing ultra crazy on the go, nothing super silly on the go. They always just lead to these big empty rooms which don't really go anywhere or do anything. The front doors are right about here, and we get these little arrows pointing us in and out, almost as if these were supposed to be open, or at the very least have some kind of NCART style metal detectors behind them. So let's actually have a look through the main entrance of the MedCenter. This is inside the MedCenter. You can see that initially there isn't really a lot going on with this place. However, the further you get into this building, the less it starts to make sense. And just a little warning, this might hurt your head a little bit, so bear with me. You'll notice first of all that there's a lot of random floating textures all the way throughout this building. Interestingly as well, these little patches of dirt actually have collision, so you can kind of just sit on these all the way out in some kind of scary abyss. I'm not going to finish that sentence. There's another one over here as well, which is like a cute little L shape. I would love to know what's going on with this and why this is happening. I don't know if there's a reason for it, because it's way below ground level. The one thing about the MedCenter is that this place has very aggressive culling, so the entire building will continuously pop in and out of existence, as you can tell. Interestingly, we do actually hit a floor, which is just a little bit further on from the main doors. This is the area where we just were, and if we persevere, then we can find ourselves in some kind of rudimentary interior. One thing which you will notice about the MedCenter is that there's a lot of these hovering around, these big metal grates, which also have like some kind of fake keypad which is attached to them. They're basically just for show. They're not practical, they don't do anything. And what's interesting about this one is that even behind here there is yet again another floor, some kind of weird broken interior that I don't think is purposeful. But again, behind this wall is more of the same. We have again these metal grates with these lock pads all over them. But throughout this area we just have weird little quirks, like for example this wall that keeps kind of popping in and out of existence. And you can see that there's actually two doorways here, obviously without doors, but you know, bit of a strange thing to be happening. The terrain also starts to give up a little bit, as we see in a lot of these out of bounds areas. It just starts to kind of sink, starts to mould a little bit, and I don't really know what this is about, but you can very easily fall into this. From this distance here, you can see how many layers of grates we have. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish layers, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Depends how you look at it, but a lot of 6 layers. These are a set of quadruple doors at the back which you can't open, and behind them is again just where we were, these weird kind of half-baked interiors that I seriously don't feel like are intentional, but are still really cool nonetheless. Here's a better angle at the part of the MedCenter which to me at least looks like an interior. I mean, come on, what the fuck is this about? You've got these logos, you've got these walls with the grates, you've got a big fat floor on the go. Like, this genuinely, to me, looks like it was supposed to have been something. I don't know what. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was an entire hospital, because it probably wasn't. Further up you go into the MedCenter as well, we do get a little bit more confusion, because we can see that here's the highway which travels all the way through it, and again we're getting this really weird culling which is going on. What the hell is this? Like, it's so easy to get lost in this place because it's absolutely massive. We have this giant checkered floor right at the top as well, and this thing has collision, which is pretty cool. There's some very shoddy texture work up here. Like, this doesn't look all that great, and I wonder why this is, you know, extendable, why this goes into the building, you know. Don't really understand how that works. This looks like I don't know, gold. Like, what even is that? Dirt, maybe? Like, why is that there? What even is that? And obviously this is the top of the MedCenter, which, yeah, does have collision. You can run around this place, which is pretty cool. You never see trauma team AVs land on here, which is a little bit disappointing. This place is at least partially occupied by trauma team. There is a little chance that maybe this was supposed to be in the game. I mean, it's a very large point of interest. It's also confirmed to have been a NCART, you know, like a train stop. It must have had some kind of importance when NCART was planned for 2077. But to sum it all up, the MedCenter does not have a giant hidden hospital interior inside of it, but it does have some weird stuff, which I don't know if I can explain. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section of the video. Do you think that this is a great deal of nothing, or do you think that more was supposed to be planned for this area? Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you lot in a bit.